Hello YouTube world, it is cold outside and it is raining, but we are still wrenching in the parking deck because we got work to do. Okay, so behind me is my beloved Porsche 997 that is new to me. Just got it like a week ago, I guess, or a little bit more than a week ago. And it has one major problem that has to be resolved, and that problem is the rear suspension system. The rear suspension strut mounts are failed, or no, the rear suspension strut mounts are failed. No, they have failed, and they have failed entirely and completely, as we showed you in the intro video for the 997. So I got parts, genuine parts from Porsche, and I have the part that I actually need, yay me, to fix this job. Now, if you look at this part, this is the actual camber, what do they call it? Camber suspension mount plate. I think this is what this thing's called, rear camber suspension mount plate. I believe is the proper terminology for this thing. And this thing goes together like this and fits on the top of your actual shock and then bolts to the actual chassis of your body via these three bolts right here. The part that has failed, interestingly enough, is this little orange piece right here. It has completely delaminated on my car and fallen apart, causing the rocking sound that you've heard in the videos. Now, you're gonna look at that and you're gonna be like, you know what, that right there is in the wrong way. And it took some looking at this, and I had to ask my wife as well which way this thing goes. But after doing some special, highly intense research, top secret stuff, we figured out that this thing actually goes in this way to isolate this, let the car go by. To isolate this ring from this so it doesn't make any sound, and then that actually suspends the this little the ring right here, and then your strut, the top of your strut mount goes in there, and then you screw it all together and put it back in the car, and voila, you don't have that clunking sound that is plaguing my vehicle right now. So we're gonna get into this, we're gonna dig this apart. Hopefully it doesn't take too long because it's a cold and rainy day, and I got lucky and I got some of the day off. Ooh, so go figure that. And we're gonna replace this right here. Now, one thing I wanna say real quick before I forget to mention this in the video is that Porsche could have easily supplied these little rings right here, and it probably would have been a $20 piece, and you could fix your suspension from here to Kingdom Come when these things fall apart. But instead, you have to buy this whole piece. Anybody wanna guess how much this whole thing costs? About $200 something. Porsche Life. So the first thing that has to happen is I have to loosen up these top three screws right here, going around the top of the upper part of the mount. And I'm going to do that first with my trusty tools. And I gotta loosen this up to get to the third one right there because it's just kind of like, you know, hidden behind this little metal plate. So that's the first thing that's gonna happen. All right, so now I'm gonna go under the car, finish untightening some more bolts, and hopefully this thing will slide right out of here and I can get this thing swapped out sooner than later and get all this dust out of here too. I might need to get my vacuum. Let's go ahead and jack the car up. I'm probably gonna rest it on my Rhino ramps, whatever these things are called. I have the front wheel chopped, so now it's time to lift the car up. Alright, so now I need to take a few bolts loose. I got the wheel off. Finally, somebody really over-torqued my wheel, but whatever. So this needs to come loose, so this control arm can come loose. This control arm needs to come loose from this joint. And then I'm also going to the sway bar. I'm going to loosen up the sway bar back here. And then I'm going to take this bolt out so that hopefully I should be able to maneuver this whole thing out once I get these bolts out. suspension for my Porsche strut suspension system for my victory dance. Yay! But yeah. So important tip: if you take the entire sway bar off, it makes it a lot easier to remove this. So you just take the two top control arms loose, and then the sway bar, and yeah, this thing pretty much just comes out pretty darn simple. So now I'm gonna replace this bit right here. As you can see how it's sitting down now, how it's supposed to be sitting versus like, you know, how it was when it was cocked and like messed up. This is all supposed to be foam in here, but you can see all this rubber band stuff is broken off and falling away, and yeah, that's what's caused all this crazy noise. But now I'm about to go ahead and replace this, and
literally nothing left in there.
Yeah, literally nothing.
Wow.
Where's the good one? Give y'all a quick side-by-side comparison of what it's supposed to look like and what it looks like after it's been worn.
I want to see what it looks like when you open this thing.
Yeah, so when we're about to open this thing right now, because I'm also curious as well. Moment of truth. Let's see what this thing looks like up under here. Is that enough light?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's non-existent. There's literally nothing left from that rubber piece.
Wow. Let me move this somewhere safe.
That's crazy.
So, if we look at the new one versus the old one,
Take this thing out.
see some immediate differences. This is the one that was completely worn and broken. This is the new one. This is the new one. And let's see if we can pop this thing out. Oh, wow. Wow. It's like literally completely destroyed. But like I said, this part right here is actually still good. You know, I mean, you could reuse this. I don't see any reason why you couldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You just have to have that centerpiece.
Wow. That's crazy. Like it completely fell apart. And wow. That was what was making the noise. This piece is still good, but this piece used to be like this. How crazy is that? And it's completely worn all the way through. All right, so now we're gonna do the good old swap them out. All right, as you can see, we got everything back in. We got our control arms back connected. We have the strut back in place. Now all I'm gonna do is a preliminary tightening of everything, and then I'm gonna go through and torque everything and move on to the other side before I, yeah, I think I'm gonna move on to the other side before I reinstall the sway bar. I think I'm gonna do it that way. So here we go. Now on the driver's side, strut mount, upper strut mount, and I noticed something. I noticed that when I took these off, this lined up with this, lined up with this, lined up with this, and I put it back that way. And the directions I read didn't really emphasize anything with this, but I'm sure this is not here for any reason. So I'm gonna go on the other side and adjust the other one so that everything is lined up properly like this one. Fun times. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gents, we're at the home stretch and it's gotten dark and it even stopped raining. Oh my God. But we have everything torqued to spec now. Last thing I have to do is put on the wheels, make sure that they are torqued to spec with this new torque wrench that I bought today. I actually really like this thing a lot, but I made a mistake earlier and I don't want y'all to make the same mistake. So let me just show y'all real quick. So when you're putting this on, you want this, these lines and a dot that's right there on your strut to all line up. If they do not line up, it's probably wrong. So I had to undo this and then redo it, which, I mean, I've gotten to the point where I can almost probably do this with my eyes closed, literally. But it's not a very difficult job, but just make sure you line all that stuff up so you don't have to do it twice like me. And yeah, we just got to throw this wheel on, button everything up, and then we're gonna take it for a nice test drive. So we will see y'all, and I'm probably gonna be changed up when we're in the car doing a test drive. Can't wait, excited. We just finished working on the 997, and guess what? Let's ride over some bumps, see what happens.
6 hours later.
But that's because I made a mistake.
Yeah, we had
But look at that now.
very nice thing quiet.
Oh man, a nice and solid ride. No crazy sounds, no nothing, just brilliance.
Oh, I can't wait to take this thing for a ride tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow we're gonna have a good time. Tomorrow we're gonna go out, we're gonna do stuff, we're gonna get it washed up properly.
Yes.
And yeah, so I look forward to tomorrow. I'm gonna sleep in a little bit. I think I earned it, maybe.
Yes, you definitely earned it.
And yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a good day. So, this is KRT LYFE, KRT LYFE with the Y. If you want to do this job, it is very, very easy. It's time consuming. Don't get me wrong, but it's very, very simple. Once you get it down, once you do the first one, the second one, I mean, it's even that much easier. And the third one's even that much more easier.
We learned it a hard way.
Yep.
But hey,
At least we learned.
we got it done.
Yep. Is this thing recording? I think it is. Okay. We wanted to pop this thing open. This is a little addition to the video, but we want to pop this top of this other mount open to see if it's anywhere near as bad as the mount that we did yesterday. Well, we did both of these, but this one already came apart when we were in the process of taking it out. And you can see that this little bushing inside was completely destroyed into many, many fragments and pieces. So we want to see what the condition of the driver's side. Was it the driver's side? Yeah, the driver's side one is.
This one was not as loud as the other one was.
Nah, but you can tell it was still going out. So I'm going to use this rusty razor right here.
That we just found.
That I just found. I probably left it here to open this up. Hopefully this will be very uneventful and straight to the point. All right, we might need to go get some tools.
I think he does need to get tools.
There it goes. All right, so this one is not as bad as the other one was, but you can see where this metal was rubbing against the top part of this bracket right here. And you can see that it wore out part of this ring that goes into the, that holds the top of your shocking place, yeah, strutting place. And then if you go and pop this thing on out, you can
This
see.
one had just a little bit of time left on it, probably.
Yeah, it was
Not much.
it was getting there, but it wasn't. Oh,
Let's see.
well, it came apart, but you can see where the actual where it was rubbing against the car, the actual the rod, the inside. Wow.
Yeah, it's falling apart. Don't
Yeah,
touch
it was pretty much done, but
That's broken.
there we go.
Wow.
So the inside, I guess it's hollow.
But this is on the inside, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm
that's
tripping.
inside.
Duh. So this part goes in here, but
It's
yeah,
definitely starting to deteriorate.
the rest of it, yeah, was deteriorated to the point where it was starting to wear this thing out kind of funky. And it also wore out the bottom of this strut mount kind of funny. I don't know if you guys can see that right there, where it's kind of elliptical right there. And then it also wore this out because it was, there we go. Also wore this out kind of weird too. So yeah, that's
Wow.
that's it. That's the end of the video. But we drove around yesterday, and we're gonna drive around today, and now the suspension is perfect though. Bolted everything up, torqued everything with my new Super Trick torque wrench. And yeah, gonna get a alignment done and
Enjoy it.
enjoy it and roll out. All right.